everyone, and welcome to Youth Uncut. Youth Uncut is a show that gives youth a voice and an opportunity to discuss the things that mean most to them. My name is Coach Devon Buchanan, and I'm founder and executive director of the Focus Youth Network. The Focus Youth Network is a nonprofit organization that provides innovative educational and recreational activities for youth and their families centered around three main pillars: wellness and nutrition education, character development, and post secondary success. Youth Uncut really provides this opportunity for character development for our young people. And I'm excited to have three of our longtime members, just mainstays, not only in Youth Uncut, but just part of the Focus Youth Network. Today we have SADIYAH Griffin, RICARDO COOKE, and EYAN LYNCH. How are you guys today?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Good. So I'm excited to have you guys on today. As we are in just an unprecedented time right now, everybody knows COVID-19, coronavirus, everything happening. I wanted to talk to you guys just as college students, first year, second year college students, and just talk about this experience right now during COVID, during this difficult time, and find out, what your experience has been like. So, I have just some questions and anyone can feel free to answer, but I might direct it at a particular person. If you want to add on, go right ahead. But, I guess I'll start with you, RICARDO. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So, I know that you are now a first year college student. So, the first thing I want to just ask you is, how are you doing? Do you feel a sense of accomplishment now? Like you're like, I'm in college. I'm a first year college student. Do you have a sense of accomplishment, or, are you kind of like, what's happening? This is a wasted year of my life. How are you feeling right now?
That's actually really a good question because I feel like I have an unpopular opinion because I feel like I wouldn't say no. I would say at the very least not yet because I feel like I haven't really gotten to what I wanted to do just yet because like it's kind of like freshman year of high school where you're just doing the classes that you have to do and you're not really doing anything that's necessarily interesting depending on your degree.
Yeah. So right now you feel like you're not doing much that's interesting. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, most of my classes are kind of, I believe it's called general education. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
maybe three classes that I have to do, and then
Okay.
there's one or two that I can find interest in, but there's not a class where I'm like, oh, I just love this class, you know?
Okay. Okay. Sadia, how you feeling right now? I know that you're out there. So wait, you guys are at school. So you're at Kutztown right now, both of you?
Yes.
Okay. So how are you
Yeah.
feeling right now? Are you feeling the same way? Is it different?
I'm actually the complete opposite. I have all the classes that I hoped I had. So
He got the
I'm,
short end of the stick, huh?
yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to say I accomplished anything yet because all of the classes that I'm doing are like public speaking classes and different types of communication. And I'm out there in the public speaking world, so I do public speaking a lot. So right now I'm just doing stuff that I would do as extracurricular activities at home. So I'm not feeling like I'm really learning too much right now or that I'm accomplishing anything. I'm just being me and getting a grade for it. So
Okay, that's a good way to look at it. Now, Ian, I think you're in your second year now, right? And
Yeah,
where do you go to school?
I go to Penn State University.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about that. How are you doing right now?
Honestly, it's a complete 180 from first semester of last year. My first semester of college, as we've spoken, I did absolutely terrible, terribly. But second semester I turned it around, got a 3.8 GPA, made the dean's list. Right now, for the current standing of the semester, I have a 3.9. So I'm continuously working. So I definitely feel accomplished for this semester because I'm taking care of everything I need to take care of inside the classroom, outside the classroom, and honestly, I feel very light and great and blessed. So
Yeah. That's what's up, man. And I know, you've always been a hard worker, from what I've known, you've always had a really strong work ethic, so that's good to hear. And now that you guys are into school, so I guess back to my freshman, I really want to kind of dig into this freshman year. What has it been like so far, just from like the first day, getting onto campus, getting acclimated? What's it been like for you, SADIYAH, just to get acclimated to college?
It's been up. It's had its up and downs basically, and it's different from when I toured here because I did the Moore program and I was here for the day, and I experienced a lot of good activities. Like it was open mic night, everybody was having fun, it was united, and then I come here and it's COVID, so like everybody is distant. If you're making friends, it's not going to be in your class because it's either online or you're social distancing, so y'all barely are talking. You're not even passing papers next to each other, so you can't even pass paper. Like, oh hey, can't do none of that. So it's like kind of awkward when it's making relationships and bonds here. But as far as the campus goes, as a freshman, I'm still confused. Like I'm not really getting the experience I think I need. So it's still like, where's the public safety building at? Because I don't have to go there. I don't have to go to different places. Like I can stay in my dorm all day and be fine. I live across from the main diner, so I really don't have to explore anything.
Yeah.
And even if I want to explore anything, it's not like everything is open. So
yeah. So RICARDO, what was your first day like getting onto campus? Like was there a sense of excitement? Like I want to see if you could give a senior right now just a sense of like, dang, COVID, but I'm on campus. Like what was it like for you?
I wouldn't be the one to tell a senior anything because like the type of person I am, everyone else was excited for me. I wasn't excited because I don't really experience excitement. It was more of like the next step, like this is me progressing in life. So I was happy that like when I came in and I saw it, I was like this is mine, like this is my room. But I haven't have like I'm really here, like I'm really doing this. Like I can't give that emotion to somebody because I didn't have it.
Yeah. Ian. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you because you are a sophomore. Right. So are you able to describe? I want you to try to describe just the difference in the first day when you got to campus at Penn State, and then when you walked on campus this year. You could talk about the physical feeling or even just you emotionally, like as a change.
Let's see. First day was definitely emotional because I'm on scholarship, so. The first day was cool, obviously I was leaving the nest for the first time, so it was hard to see my dudes cry. Or my dad cried, that was weird. So it was cool. It was definitely an emotional day. I'm not an emotional person, so I was like, all right guys, I'm gonna holler at y'all. But I definitely had, like RICARDO said, a sense of accomplishments and like, I'm at this next step, but it's still work to be done. This year when I came on the campus, it was like, yo, I'm so excited to be away from Philly. Just back on campus, and you get to see all some familiar faces before, because Penn State is running at half the capacity, so not all 46,000 students are back. So it's definitely a lot weirder now compared to last year, simply because I low-key still feel like a freshman because I didn't even get my full freshman year. I got home halfway through, but the vibe is definitely off. Like you can tell that some people are depressed and set off just because we're not given the opportunity to really mingle as we were last year. So I feel as if freshmen are, at a disadvantage almost. Well, everyone, but especially freshmen, because it's their first time in a new setting and they have to pretty much quarantine in the entire 4 or 5 months of the year.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Let's talk a little bit about lifestyle in college, right? Like, what are some skills that you either feel like you needed to have or wish you would have had when you came to college to make things a little bit easier? It could be, like, I wish I knew how to cook or do laundry, or I wish I had better study habits. Like, what is something that you wish you had before you came to college that you think would be beneficial? Anybody, who wants to answer could go ahead.
I can answer.
Okay.
I know I had self-motivation before, but I really need to be on it now. Because virtual school feels so optional. Like you get up, you log into the class, and it's like, do I really have to pay attention? Like everything is online anyway. But you need the self-control and you need self-motivation, because if you don't have it, you done for basically with this type of learning situation. Because no matter how how long your Zoom classes are is still not in person. Some people learn from hands-on experience or from basically just seeing it like in person. But hearing it from a distance is not the same. So you're going to be teaching yourself anyway, but it's up to you to have the self-control to focus on what you need to focus on and the self-motivation to get your work done when you needed to get it done and not procrastinate. I've been procrastinating a lot when it comes to teaching myself the work. So when it comes to the quizzes and the homework, I'm like, wait, did I even read this part? Because I'm not focusing as much and I'm waiting to the last minute to do it. So I'm basically rushing rather than actually teaching myself how I would be taught in a regular classroom.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to be honest with you, what I just heard was one of those past conversations that we had, intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, and how it's important to be intrinsically motivated when you get to college. That's a really good point. And I want to kind of go back to that a little bit later as we maybe talk about some skills for high school students. Anybody else, like what's it like, what's one skill or something that you wish you need to have in college?
One thing that I would personally say is something that I definitely struggled with my freshman year is time management. You harp on it all the time in high school. Everyone will tell you, yeah, you gotta, manage the time right and properly. But it's something that you'll never really be able to master until it's time for you to do it. So this year, I'm definitely on top of it. I wake up ahead of time. I had class today from 2:30 to 5:30 and then jumped onto this. So like, you just have to make sure that everything is, to the T and that you're on top of everything. Because the second you slip, especially in college, one second you slip, one assignment can derail your entire semester. So you got to stay on top of everything.
Absolutely. Do you have any like specific things that you do, systems, like a place you write stuff down? Like, how do you keep track of what you're doing in college?
So this cell phone could also, a lot of older folks would say that it's the bane of our existence, but honestly, it comes in clutch. I've been blessed and fortunate enough to have like all the Apple products. So I have the iPad, the MacBook, all the good stuff. So my schedule is uploaded from Canvas right onto my schedule or right onto my calendar for my laptop, and it's automatically downloaded onto my cell phone and my watch as well. So 15 minutes before every class, I get an alert, and it also gives my assignments. So like I know everything as soon as I open my phone. So that, and I constantly have my phone. Yeah. So you have no excuse to, but to see it, do it.
That's what's up. And it's just like making the things that work for you. So if you're always on your phone, then set up a system that you can use to make sure that that phone is the thing that's keeping your calendar, keeping all those important things. That's a really great piece of advice. Ricardo, how about you, man? Like, what's one skill you like, yo, when you come to college, you definitely need to be able to do this?
I've never been checked for it, but I feel like if I was to diagnose myself, I feel like I have social anxiety, like sometimes crippling social anxiety. So like better social skills would definitely be a thing, because like time management and self-motivation, they're not as I don't need them as much, because like I'm very to myself. So like I know what I gotta do. You know what I mean? I know how I work.
Yeah.
So I know what triggers certain things and what doesn't. Yeah. Like Ian, when he says with using his phone, like I recently put my phone on the screen time app where it has the limit. So like my Instagram is on an hour and my Twitter's on an hour 30. So like I only get an hour 30 on social media, just so I can limit myself even more. And then like I'll look at my game and then I'll just be like, I mentally know I shouldn't be on it. And that's why my computer's right here next to it. So like I have these triggers just to make sure. But social skills is definitely one of them, because sometimes I can I'll get anxious, I guess you can call it, and I'll tense up, or like I feel like I can't speak if I'm around too many people, or I'm just in an uncomfortable setting.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. And so social skills I think is really important. If I could share, like I went to a small high school. I graduated with, y'all will never guess, 23 people. What? 23 people in my senior class. And so you can imagine going from such a small environment to any college is going to be 10 times bigger than that. And so, or 100 times bigger than that. And so you're thinking about how do you get the practice to do those things? How do you get the practice to be self-motivated? How do you get the practice to set up these systems? How do you get the practice to work on those social skills? And those are the things that, you know, a lot of our high school students right now have to seek out, because they don't know what they need to know until they get there. And that's why it's always important to have a mentor, because a college student or a high school student can go right to you and know and have a snapshot of their future and say, you know what, somebody I trust is going through this and I can actually learn from them. And so it's important. I think it's really great that you guys had those three things that you talked about to help, you know, young people. You know, I wanted to ask you this too, is again, now that we're kind of going through COVID, what are some challenges, you know, that you have faced in the last year that have maybe, you know, made college, yo, I just need to get away. Like, this is perfect timing for me. Or is it like, yeah, I wish I didn't have to go away, or I could be home with my family? Like, have you guys been through any challenges or anything in the last year? You know, and I think about just, you know, offering people an opportunity just to see, like, yo, there's a challenge, but we have 3 people who came out of it.
For sure.
I can go first again.
Okay.
You know, I'm a real optimistic person, so right now I can see definitely the lessons that I learned from that. But in April, right when COVID hit hard, I ended up losing my home in a fire, and I had to start all over, like with every single thing. And coming to college made that easier for me. Like, I didn't have to be home where the ashes was. Like, I didn't have to be home where I was reminded of it. But I also looked at it as, okay, I'm going to college anyway, so I would have had to get new things anyway. I would have had to leave some of that stuff behind anyway. So let's look at the bigger picture. And me and my mom, we were like, we really, really close. But because we lost the house, we had to like be in different households. And that gave me the strength I need for college, because if I had the option to stay home because all of my classes are online, I would have stayed home with my mom. But because I learned to live without her in the same household, I'm able to be in college and get the experience that I wanted.
Yeah.
So from different obstacles and different challenges throughout this whole COVID thing, I definitely know, like, some things are taken for granted, like being outside and enjoying nature, but other things were set up to teach me lessons, and I took them and I just made
That's
it.
awesome. No, and let me tell you, I remember when it happened, and you were probably one of the most resilient people. I know there was a lot of people supporting you, but you yourself seemed to be very resilient during that time, and I would expect nothing different than that from SADIYAH. So, you know, that's awesome. How about you guys? What is you know, one challenge, any challenges you've gone through?
One, before I even go any further, SADIYAH, my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry that happened to you and your family. And
Thank you.
no problem. Secondly, for me, primarily, it's been obviously, you know, Philadelphia, there's a lot of violence, a lot of gun violence, a lot of things like that. And every day, like my mom, you know, comment, like your parents are going to be afraid, you know, as a young Black man, or as anyone, honestly, in this society. Sorry, I will leave the house. My mom will be scared. Like I was blessed with a vehicle over the quarantine. So whenever I would leave the house, my mom would always be scared. There would be times where, like, I'm out with my friends, or I'm just at my father's house across the city, but my mom isn't always aware. I would get text messages, text updates of a young man in the city who's, you know, same skin tone as me, same age as me, who was murdered not too far away from where I was. And unfortunately, I've lost a few friends to gun violence like that. So just to have the ability to get out the city and get away from all that was definitely great. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and you set yourself up to do that, man. You know, you wouldn't have that opportunity if it weren't for all the hard work you put in prior to now, right? Ricardo, how about you? Anything? Any challenges, man? Like, I know you just are like intellectual. I love listening to you talk, man. So
challenges. I would say getting outside. I guess you would call it like getting outside of myself, because I've been different places. Like, I've been out of the country twice, and I've been to different states, but I never got that feeling of like, oh, I could live here or I could live here. You know, like I always felt like Philadelphia was the place to be. Like I
Yeah.
didn't, like I've always heard my fellow students say like, I can't wait to get out of Philadelphia, and I can never understand because I never had that need to go anywhere. So a challenge for me was getting myself to get out of that bubble because I was with my family. You know, I was with my family during these times, and I didn't get sick of them, but you only can see somebody so long, you know.
Yeah.
So like I was getting like I was going through mood swings. I may have not wanted to been around them all the time, you know, and that's to come with the course because it was a long time to be secluded in the house. So it was more of I just need to not to say I need to get out, but I need to explore more. Like I need to be able to put myself out there because Kutztown, PA is a whole different environment. Like they like it's a whole different place, it's a whole different people. You know,
Yeah.
I just had to let myself be able to get out of there, you know, get out and show other places who I am.
Yeah.
Because Philadelphia can't be the only place I am forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Expanding those horizons is so important. And I want to get to this next topic because it's so important. Now, you guys are all 18 now. And with this new climate, I want to know today was the last day in PA. Like, are y'all registered to vote? What's
Yeah.
up? Y'all registered?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now y'all gonna vote, right? Like how are you feeling about this election season? Is it like top of mind for you? You know, I guess as things have happened, and Ian, you even mentioned just, you know, being a black male in today's society and all the things happening. Um, what do you guys feel is kind of your responsibility as 18, 19, going to be 20-year-olds, you know, soon, young adults? What do you feel is your responsibility to the change that you want to see in our society?
I'll start off with this one because
Okay.
I've been going through a lot with this whole voting thing.
Yeah.
I've been registered for a while, but like it seems like every day I'm kind of going back and forth with myself. Like, does it even matter if I vote? Like, I'm like kind of like I'm kind of like
Yes, it does
I'm a
matter, but go
number.
ahead.
Yeah, like I'm a number. I'm just a number type of thing. Like it's billions, millions of people in the U.S. But then I have to like, there's the other part of me that's like, of course it matters because like if half of the population said, man, I'm not about to vote, then only half the population is choosing who runs the country. We're all going to be affected by it. So like I still go through it. Like I don't even know. Like I'm thinking about because we do have mailing services. So I'm thinking about doing the mail service where I just ship it through the little blue mailbox and then I'm just done with it. So I don't gotta think about it anymore. But it's hard because right now, I don't know if it's been like that because I didn't pay attention in other elections, but it feels like there's both are not really a good choice. You know what I mean? Like both, we're kind of dealing with two bad choices necessarily, but maybe one may be better than the other, but even still, you know, it's just like a rotten grape and then there's a rotten raisin. It's like both rotten.
Yeah. Yeah. He said right, great rat raisin. What do you guys think? I mean, what are your feelings about the current, you know, climate? Your feelings on voting?
Sorry, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I really look forward to the presidential debate because a lot of people can say one candidate is just dumb and don't know what they're talking about, but I don't feel like neither one of them are dumb. I feel like they both know what they're talking about. It's just the matter of, are you really listening what they're trying to say, or are y'all missing the big picture? Because a lot of people are missing the big picture. So I thought the presidential debate would basically open eyes to my peers and to other people about what's really going on, but they was bickering the whole entire time. So you didn't really hear any plans or anything that they had in store. So I feel like with that, everybody was like, man, I'm not voting this election. And that's just not the smartest thing to me. And I feel like my job right now is to help my peers realize that this election means a lot that they're not thinking of. And I understand a lot of people my age aren't educated on politics. I wasn't either, but I took the time to look into it. So I feel like other people should be able to do the same thing. But I'm the type of friend, if you're not going to look into it, I'm going to help you look into it. I'm going to tell you, like, yo, you don't know that this happened and this happened and this happened. And we can go toe to toe and tell me why you're not voting, so I can tell you why I am voting. And at the end of the day, we have a lot of people with the mindset like, you can't tell me. Like, I'm grown now. I'm 18. You can't tell me what to do. Like, da-da-da. And because adults are telling them to vote, and it's like, man, I'm 18. Like, I don't got to listen to them. But that's a lot of people's mindset, and it's ignorant, but at the same time, it's like, can you really blame them? You've been waiting your whole life to turn 18 just for certain laws to change and make you be 21 to do it.
Yeah.
So, because this is the only thing that's still in your hands, you want to rebel against it because you are of this age and you can make your own decisions without looking at the bigger picture. Like, yo, this election means a lot, and your vote definitely do count.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I don't know. Information go in one ear and out the other, so you can't really convince somebody who has a fixed mindset.
Yeah. So we got 2 minutes left. Ian, I want to hear your opinion. Then I want to get a quick word of advice from you guys. Go ahead, real quick.
All right. Long story short, I watched the first presidential election. Seems like two children arguing. Sound like me and my little sister back in the day or last week. You could choose. But I definitely feel like the whole election is choosing between the lesser of two evils. There was a lot of untruth being said and on both sides in the election. And I know who I'm choosing. I know who I'm voting for because at the end of the day, no matter what happens to my life personally, I'm always going to choose the people over the money. So Trump can offer as many economic pluses as he wants, but I'm always rock with the people because at the end of the day, that's what matters, not the bread.
Yeah, I love it. So we have literally 1 minute left, and I just wanted to give you guys, I always like to just end with a word of advice. As a college student in the new age, we have 15 seconds to give a word of advice to an incoming or a senior incoming freshman. What would it be? Anybody go ahead, go first.
Stay focused, stay positive, and stay true to yourself.
Okay, love it.
Never give up.
Never give up. Okay. We'll summarize that later. All right.
Don't be afraid to be yourself.
Don't be afraid to be yourself. I like that one. So guys, I really, how much I love y'all. I revere you guys as just the next generation. I'm blessed to know you. Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing with our audience your experience of college through COVID. This has been Youth Uncut. This is the Focus Youth Network. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.